Everybody, welcome to headquarters. My name is Lieutenant Amy Rhodes. I'm an investigator with the Lawrence Police Department. We are going to bring in the family of Regan Gibbs. Regan's mother, her significant other, and Regan's sisters all want to speak publicly about Regan's life. They're doing this because multiple media requests, calls, and even visits to their homes out of town. They're happy to speak about Regan and hope this ends all the requests. After today, the family would appreciate privacy and for you to respect that wish. Today we will hear from Regan's mother, Kristen, and her sisters in age order, Ashlyn, Madeline, Aaron, and Kieran. They will not be taking questions after their prepared remarks. They've also provided us several pictures. There's a pad of paper that Laura McCabe has provided. If you want to put your email address, we can send you those pictures after today's briefing. Also, one of Regan's cousins has set up a GoFundMe page. The family tells us there's another GoFundMe page that is not affiliated with them. So if you plan to mention that in your story, please make sure you use the correct one. Hannah Lewis is Regan's cousin, working to help them out with that. Again, Hannah Lewis is the GoFundMe for the family. Thank you.
First, my name's Kristen Gibbs. I am the mother of Regan Gibbs. I wanted to first thank everyone for helping us through this. It's been a very traumatic experience, to say the least, and I appreciate any privacy we can get. I want to start off with that. We did not ask to be in this situation, so we appreciate the privacy. As our family, extended family, all of us try to get through this. Let's see here. I am Regan's mom. Regan is my daughter and always will be, even in this situation. This is about her and what she went through, and I hope and pray somebody is helped through this. She's survived by Ashlyn, Madeline, Aaron, and Kieran, and myself. And she was a fantastic older sister. She was not legally married to the man who took her from us. He manipulated her through her faith, and as we all heard through domestic violence awareness campaigns, he slowly isolated her from people who expressed concern. I am sure the many people who've had a loved one involved in a similar situation can relate to the frustration of seeing it happening, feeling helpless, but never expecting this kind of tragic ending. Her phone was suddenly not working. Conversations were limited to his phone, but on speaker, no video allowed. And his control over her became very clear during the one and only time we met him. I hope you all talk about the warning signs people should look for. Don't ignore them, please. Don't ignore any of them. Go emphatically after that warning. Learn and study those signs, please. And know, even if you see those signs and they don't work, know that you did everything you could to save them. Don't blame yourself. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. Regan was born on January 15th in 1997. She grew up in Washington and graduated high school with honors and a passion for soccer. Everything she did was with passion. She was an incredible athlete in person and was even a national team prospect after a serious back injury. She never let anything shut her down. She had unparalleled fearlessness, speed, and agility as a goalkeeper. Senior year, she helped her team shut out and defeat the 2-year undefeated and reigning champions, Dallas Sting, in the ECNL National Tournament semifinal game. then went on to play a fantastic, exciting game in front of a packed crowd. Regan was sought after by many universities before deciding on the University of Kansas. She was ecstatic to be here. She helped her team defeat Mizzou in double overtime in the first time ever. They were so proud. She also shut out the women's national team in a practice game, she took a face hit from Heather O'Reilly and cherished that red face. She was fierce and sacrificed everything for her family, friends, and team. Even when she wasn't in that goal, she supported them. Regan graduated with a bachelor's degree in behavioral science in 2019 from the University of Kansas and planned to attend a PA school to help the homeless and mentally ill. She volunteered for the homeless shelter in Lawrence and had the same passionate drive she had on the field when reaching out to those suffering the most. She worked in the behavioral health department of St. Luke's Hospital in Phoenix, Arizona, helping patients of all ages after graduation and before leaving to come back to Kansas last fall. That's when we saw the changes happening. We know Regan, a beautiful soul inside and out. No one could dispute that. Regan did everything with an intense drive and love and had a tremendous heart for the homeless. I can't express that enough. As a child and young adult, I remember even on her birthday, she would ask her family where they would like to eat and what they would like to do. She reached out to new students in school just to make sure they felt welcome and were not alone. Regan was always driven to show kindness and love to everyone she met. She was extremely kind, never spoke ill of others, even when they were coming after her. She refused, and she was very humble. She never boasted of her skills and was uncomfortable when others pointed them out. She had a vivaciously beautiful smile and laugh. I will always remember how she laughed with such great intensity. Regan brought passion and kindness to everyone she met and in everything she did. She had faith in people, love for people, and she trusted people so much. I can't express that enough. I hope by speaking out, we give everyone a better picture of the Regan Gibbs we know in our hearts, and I hope that picture will remain when her story is told. Thank you.
I'm Ashlyn Gibbs. I'm the second oldest daughter in our family. I have been with my sister since she was 18 months old, and she welcomed me with open arms. She willingly gave up her spot on my parents' bed as soon as I came home, but she still wanted to be near, so she would leave her room and crawl up with her blanket at the foot of the bed. When we were little, she would wrap her arm around my neck in a headlock and say, "Come on, sissy," and drag me wherever we were going, riding in our pink Barbie Jeep, picking strawberries and finding caterpillars. We would have little sleepovers and talk for hours past our bedtime, and quickly pretend to be asleep when our parents would walk in. She had a heart for the lost. When we were in school, she would find people sitting alone and befriend them. Regan was genuinely interested in getting to know you. She didn't care what you looked like or what other people thought. She saw the good in everyone. She refused to be part of a gossip. She refused to be part of the gossip or say bad things about people. even when they would make fun of her. She refused to blend in, so genuinely herself that people would find ways to pick her apart, regardless of if she had done anything to them. And when I wanted to stand up for her, she would tell me that it was okay. She forgave very easily. She had an integrity she refused to compromise, and an iron will when she set her mind to something. That's how she became such a great soccer player. She would do what it took to succeed and go beyond what was asked of her every time. Regan was not perfect, but she was uncommon, beautiful, and genuinely caring in a way that few people are. She existed, and this was just a shred of her life. He will not take her away or the good that she did. Thank you.
My name is Madeline Gibbs. I am the third daughter in the family. And I'm here to share a little bit of who I knew Regan with you guys. To the outside world, Regan was many things. A daughter, a sister, a mentor, a friend. But to us and to those who knew her, she was a light. If you had the chance to know Regan, you'd quickly discover how much she loved Jesus and how that love transcended everyone around her. Driven by her desire to help others, she was an advocate for the homeless, veterans, and for those who struggled with mental health on a day-to-day basis. Regardless of the circumstances of propriety or ease of comfort, she would behold and seek out the brokenhearted with tender compassion. Stranger or not, familiarity was never an obstacle on her path, and to make someone feel whole again or to feel loved. Although her kindness sometimes gave way to a little bit of stubbornness, her heart was always in the right place. In her lifetime, Regan willingly gave all that she had to bring joy to others, and never expected nor ever desired anything in return. She was selfless, forgiving, and unashamedly herself. When I heard of her passing, I realized I lost my best friend. But ultimately, I knew she was in a better place, that she was and is finally at peace, and that her voice and her memory would live on in the people she touched. Thank you.
My name is Regan Gibbs, and I am the fourth daughter in our family. I'm here to tell you some of my favorite memories with Regan. I remember Regan sitting with us at the piano. She would sing Disney songs. One of her favorites was Let It Go. She would ask us to help her sing better and teach her to play the piano. On my 16th birthday, she took me driving and bought me Dairy Queen and insisted we took as many pictures as we could. My favorite thing about Regan was that even if she was frustrated with you, you would never know it. She would hug you and tell you that she loved you. She bore everyone else's emotions and pain and didn't let anyone bear hers for her. Whenever Regan came home from Kansas, she would walk to the park near our house and meet up with different elderly neighbors of ours. And whenever she was gonna go out, she would say, "All right, I'm gonna go see my friends." Very excited. She would visit them whenever she came home, and if they didn't see her, they would ask about her. Regan always looked for those who needed a friend, those who didn't have anybody else. And she was unapologetically herself 100% of the time. This really does not feel real. I think every one of us could say that we are expecting her to just come home from one of her long stays away in Kansas. I miss her so much.
My name is Kieran. I'm a little over 9 years younger than my sister Regan. And she's always been in my life because of that. She's always been around. She used to ask to go on runs with me all the time. She was an athlete and she loved to work out. And I'd sometimes reluctantly agree because she was so much more in shape than me and she was older, so I'd lag behind. And she'd tend to cheer me on when I lagged behind, trying to keep me going. On one specific run, I remember being exhausted, but she'd encourage me throughout the entire thing. And I decided to sprint the last bit home. And I think I surprised her because she was like, "All right, Kieran." And I remember her cheering and hollering. And then we went inside the house and she told everybody and she was so proud of me. That was when I actually ran with her. Most of the time I would ride my scooter around the neighborhood with her while she ran. And I'd get ahead and say, "Hurry up, slowpoke." One of my favorite memories with her was one time when we went to see a movie and there was this plaza around it. And in front of it were these steps that led down to a stage for live concerts. And after the movie, there was this band playing that day, and there were a few pairs dancing here and there in front of the stage. But what really stood out was there was this one elderly man walking around the bottom dancing by himself, and he even had some pretty nice moves. And Regan decided to go down there and dance with him. I think she was drawn by his energy and his expression. The rest of us stayed up in the stands for a bit, but eventually, after seeing them by themselves, I kind of reluctantly followed. And we broke off from the elderly man and started dancing with each other. And then one by one, the rest of them followed. I don't know how long we were there, but it was one of the best times. And that was what she brought out of us. No matter how closed off you were, she just seemed to bring that out of people. I just wish I didn't take that for granted. Thank you.
That's it, everybody. If you please just go ahead and leave your contact information and we can send you photographs if you'd like. Thank you so much for coming today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.